Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a sweet new knife to show you. This is the Raiden V2, or I believe they're calling it the R2 from Null Knives. And they have a pre-order coming up on the 19th of November with a bunch of different versions of this knife. And yeah, I remember when I first handled the Raiden. If you've been watching the channel long enough, you may have seen my review. I like the knife, but I'm not a big studs only guy. And ergonomically, it wasn't the best for my hand because this area right here would land like right on a finger. Like it just didn't feel perfect for me. So I thought it would be very interesting to try the R2 and see how I feel about it now that it's been a couple years. It does have this sort of front flipper tab there as well. I don't know if it's advertised as a front flipper, but especially right-handed with the clip there, I can easily front flip it. So actually works better than some knives that have dedicated front flippers. So yeah. But it has this cool milling pattern. They have three milling patterns for this drop. I'm going to show you the website in a little bit, and you can see all the versions. I figure that makes it easier for you guys. There have been some changes made to the knife, and that is, I guess, what we'll start with. So they have the new milling patterns. They have aspirated versions. I'm not sure if the first one had a run with aspirated handles. I'm not sure if the studs were updated, but they do feel different. They look a little different. They kind of have that pyramid nipple look that you see on like Chris Reeves, but they're not pokey. They're not aggressive. They don't hurt in any way. They catch your finger really well. So the studs are phenomenal. I don't recall exactly how the studs were on the V1, but they feel great. So whether they're the same or different, they're really good. The pivot area has been changed a little bit. So you have, from what I understand, the original pivot was stainless steel, the pivot caps, and now they're titanium. So it can be anodized. And they have these faux pivot collars. That's what they're calling them, faux pivot collars. They're milled into the scale, which is really cool. Gives it a unique look, different than using actual pivot collars. And I like that. I think it's cool. They also added this fuller right here, or slot, whatever you want to call it, blade window. I guess it's not a window because it's not a pass-through, whatever you want to call it. But that allows you to obviously reverse flick a lot easier, and I think they got that idea from their Raikou model. And this does work left-handed pretty well, actually. So if you're left-handed and you're looking at this, depending on the detent on the one you get, it should work pretty well. The way my hand, large glove size hand, lands, I'm like kind of right on top of the clip, but I don't have to be completely off this lock bar to reverse flick it. It still allows me to reverse flick it because it's not you know, the strongest detent in the world. And it's not weak. It's got a good click. Studs pop out of there, so it's definitely not like soft. It's just it doesn't put a ton of pressure on it when you push down on it. I don't think I'd be able to like, oh yeah. So that's good, but I can't guarantee that every example would feel that way. That is a very knife to knife thing. Some knives, you just, you know, the way the lock bar was bent or whatever, it just applies more pressure when you push on the frame. And some knives, it's not as noticeable. So I'm not going to guarantee it's great for all of them would be great, but this one fires out really well left-handed. I really like that detail where you have this little milling right here, and you have that step on the frame lock. See if I can show you. I'll zoom in. Look at that. How cool is that? It goes right around that screw. matches up the milling and everything. That is a very nice touch from Sean over at Null Knives. Great dude, by the way. Good company. They have cool knives. They've done very well. They have a good name for themselves. I believe they've used Riot for everything they've done, and definitely no issues there. Riot is still the best OEM in the game. And now they're turning things around much faster, as I understand it. So this should get to you a bit quicker than previous pre-orders from Null Knives. The clip looks great. I believe they updated the clip. They said to flow a little better with the handle or the design. I think it looks great. I did carry this today, and it felt good in the pocket. Carries pretty deep. It's a comfortable carry. And I gotta say, it is comfortable in my hand. So whatever the issue I had on the first one, it really hasn't presented itself on this one. I don't know if they knocked down these edges more or if this is shrunken down a little bit or something. But yeah, it feels good in the hand. It's kind of got that gun stock almost pattern to it on the handle. Really nice blade. Good grind, flat grind here. But relatively tall. It's going to be nice and thin and slicey. You're looking at 63 to 64 HRC on the MagnaCut blade steel. MagnaCut. It's the only marking on the knife except for the Null Knives logo there. Give you a close-up of everything. Beautiful milling. Very nice. Dead centered. I don't know if this was there last time. I don't remember this lanyard hole, but it is there. So that's cool. Whether it was there or not the first time, it's there. And looks good. Let me grab a Q-tip. Just clean off any of that oil and stuff there. Here's a look at those pivot collars. I'll zoom in. The faux pivot collars. Very, very cool. Unique design aspect there. I remember when it first came out, I really liked the pivot design because it gives you a sort of grip point, an index point that catches your finger. So when you grip onto the knife to do some cutting, you can really feel where you are, and it holds you down, it holds traction. So it also has a functional purpose, which is really cool. I think that's all the changes. Oh wait, there's weight relief as well. I do have a paper here. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, weight relief. And the new milling patterns. They have Arrow and Type S. So this is the Arrow pattern, according to the box. It does say black with blue, so maybe it's not the Arrow pattern, because this is obviously not black with blue. This is black with a stone wash. I think they call it static wash. But good jimping here. Nice spot to slide up if you choke up. Good choke up grip. Very well done. Let's look at the edge termination. You can see the plunge ends like right about here, so you have plenty of sharpening life. Sean is one of those people that has very good attention to detail, and so I don't worry about stuff like that. It's just usually going to be covered by him, whether now or in production. So I think there is going to be one change to the knife in production. That is the pivot. The barrel will be D-shaped. Right now, I guess it's a spinning barrel, which honestly doesn't matter because you have tooling on both sides. So if it were my call, which it's not, Sean, if you watch this, I would leave it the way it is, because if you add a D shape, yes, you can notch one side. But unless you're gonna make one side not have tooling, you have tooling on both sides, so I would just leave it spinning because you have a full circle on the pivot. Once you add that D shape, you're actually adding open space where the blade could ride, and that can cause it to the action to feel a little less smooth. Hopefully that makes sense, but if you are going to get rid of one of the pivot caps and put a sterile one or whatever, then I guess it does make sense. Very good action. Feels great. One thing I didn't love about the original was, and I think I handled the original prototype, not production model. I did not love the Detent Ramp because it just didn't feel great, especially left-handed. It would catch. They did update it in production, and I think they did a pretty good job here on this prototype as well. But if you disengage the knife to like here, you can get caught. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think it feels good. And it pretty much clears it right-handed. If you do this, it just clears that detent anyway. The ramp doesn't even come into play. But yeah, I would say this is great. I remember not loving the detent ramp on the original, but they obviously took care of that. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's really well done. I like the deployments. Thumb flick is great. You can reverse flick the studs, or you can get in on that fuller there, and they both feel good. Lockup feels and looks solid. It's going to be a good cutter. You have high heat-treated MagnaCut, slicey blade shape, and grind, Riot made, so you're not going to have any trouble there. You can front flip it, no problem at all. I just noticed it actually does have some similarities to the Prince Customs Proteon that I had. Well, I guess this came out first, I'm not sure, but they're not like the same. They just have a similarity. I think it's because of the added cutout from the original. But very cool. I always like to see what Sean is up to. And yeah. So this is the R2, the Raiden V2. And it is dropping on the 19th. Well, pre-order on the 19th. Here are the specs. If you want to pause and read, you can do that. And the versions. Oh, yeah. I'm going to show you the versions. The price, I think he always lists the price on page 2. 300. Oh, nice. 300 to 350. Good pricing, I would say. And then if you look at the website, you have the R2. That's the static wash. That's the $300 one. So it's basically plain Jane. You have Arrow is the one with the cutouts. Got it. Okay. And you have different versions of that. You can pause and read any of these you like. This one's got Damasteel. This one is the Type S. So what is different about that? Oh, okay. So you have this one that has no milling. This one that has the aspirations. And then you have this one. That's the one I have, is the Type S. Has those milling lines in the middle there. See that? This is a Type S. And then this is a blue with hand rubbed. That's sick. And then these are, well, this is Damasteel Type S, but this is the launch exclusive. They always do a launch exclusive, limited numbers or whatever. Is that crystallized titanium? Yes, it is. And then you have some Damasteel as well. 510 bucks on that. You have some kits you can pick up if you like. It looks like the one I have here is this one. Type S, black PVD, dark stonewash, $325. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Pre-orders on November 19th. Shout out to Sean. Appreciate you sending me this prototype to check out, dude. Really well done. I think he has really done a great job with Null knives. And he took the Raiden, which was their first model. So this is kind of a coming back to where they started type deal, and made those small tweaks that really set it off, make it that much better. I think the changes he made here really makes it more appealing to me, having that slot there. The ergonomics somehow just work for me now when they didn't originally. Maybe I was just crazy back then, I don't know. But yeah, great knife. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're going to pick one up. Let me know if you have any Null knives. I'd be curious to hear which ones. I know the Voodoo is extremely popular. One of my favorites is the Grace. Absolutely fantastic knife. Corbin collaboration. Not something that I would have myself stylistically, but just a work of art in my opinion. So yeah, I love you guys. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later. Peace.